All right. Yeah, I will. Okay, everybody, we're going live with the webcast.
Hi, Harv. How's it going?
Doing good.
Good is fine.
Is this webcam?
No, so you can sit there as awkwardly as you like, and they're not going to see it. Hello, Internet. We're getting organized in here, calling the troops in, so we'll be getting rolling here in just a second. No, we're just gonna talk, and then we're gonna talk some more, and we're gonna talk about singing, but we're not actually gonna sing.
Are you live?
Karaoke. Yeah, we're live on the web right now, so I don't know if we have any viewers, but yeah. So, well, hey everybody, welcome. Thank you very much for being here to premiere our first music video for Shiny Shiny Black. It's going to be a really good week. On top of this rolling out, I'm also playing Saturday at Ignition Garage with the Nashville songwriters, Phil Madeira, who played on a bunch of Rich Mullins records, and a guy named Will Kimbrough, and a lady named Bridget DeMyers, and I'm pretty excited about that. So, oh yeah, and we're playing Thursday in South Bend at the Well, where we're also going to be showing this video. So, to kind of help people become aware of it. So, a couple of things I wanted to touch on real quick before we start into this whole thing. Hi, Charlotte. It's my daughter. First of all, if you like this video, we're going to make it available publicly on YouTube tonight for everybody. So please share it on your Facebook page or blog, or, take pictures of it on your Instagram, whatever you want to do. But just kind of to help proliferate it. That is, of course, only if you like it. If you don't like it, we just fail to mention it. So the other thing is, if you would be so inclined, we're trying to get this song onto the Globe, the radio station here at Goshen College. And so it would be really awesome if you would call the station over the next week or two and request the song. That would be awesome, because it would help us make the case for why the song should be on the radio, if you would do that for us. So we just truncated it to Lights On. So Lights On. It's just, yeah, even though that's not really the lyric, but it works. Partly because of set lists. It's just easier to write that. So, and then it just became, that's what we called it. So, all right. Well, with that, I guess we're going to get rolling with the making of video. I interviewed Anna, and she interviewed me, and we were going to interview Brian, but he was super, super busy when we were trying to do that. So we couldn't, but he's here tonight, so we can ask him some questions about his thoughts and all that. And, yeah. No pressure. And then we'll play the music video, and then we'll do the like a question and answer afterwards. So if you guys are like, why did you kill a goat right in the middle of the video, or whatever, questions that you guys have, I got your attention now. All right. Yeah, that would, you're welcome to ask anything you'd like after that. So without further ado, I'm going to put the making of video up here if it will cooperate with me. I think I have to do something to it here. Okay. There it goes. Okay. So this is just... It evolved over time. I actually started writing this song when I was in an industrial band, and it had a completely different, like, sort of Radiohead kind of feel, with really crazy drum beats and big bass drops and all that. And then I started playing solo shows, and it turned into this other thing. And then we actually tried to start recording this song 9 months ago.
The ironic part for me about recording is that I get more stage fright, like laying down tracks, this thing that you can just erase and start over with, than I do being in front of a live audience and performing.
We have this specific thing that we're trying to achieve, but you know, we're finding more and more out about how that looks, and you know, as that's happened, what we started with originally is close to how it's going to end up, but there's just so many new pieces of equipment we bought or new ideas that we brought to the table that really have added a lot to the song, and we've ended up having to re-record parts multiple times just to get it right as the song has kind of grown. And so having a song kind of take on this sort of going down the river turns and twists kind of thing is kind of a new thing for me, but I'm really excited about the way it's coming out.
I'm an audio engineer and originally thought I might be interested in recording and decided I liked running live sound better. So like I think it's interesting too, just being on the recording side.
Basically started out being driven by a drum machine, and kind of it was written originally for my last band. As the song like kind of grew, it became real apparent that there needed to be a couple things to like change it up. And the song's in a minor key, but it originally had been written in a major, and one day we sort of had this epiphany about doing a bridge and bringing back the major chords as the root of it, which is really interesting and totally like really just blows the song up and totally changes it about 2/3 of the way. So that's really cool. That was like one of those aha moments that we had after we'd been playing the song for, I don't know, at least 6 months. The other really significant change that happened along the way is it really just needed some instrumentation. And I've been really digging into Luke Doucette, the guitar player from White Horse, and Sarah McLachlan's guitar player, one of them. And he has this really like crazy, awesome spaghetti western kind of guitar sound, and was messing around with that a lot, doing a lot of experimenting. And one day I just heard this sort of surf guitar, you know, that real twangy 50s and 60s guitar sound. This idea just popped into my head, and I knew it was weird because I'm still growing a lot as a guitar player, but I knew exactly how to play it. My studio and demoed it out, and it just was like, wow, this really works. It totally changes. It adds that missing piece to the song. But the interesting thing is, I'm still running kind of parallel lines with Brian's bass parts, but then Anna's guitar is kind of doing this counterpoint to it, and it just really works. It's like you couldn't ask for like things to kind of fall together more completely than that. It just makes me my musical brain really happy how that all works out. So. I was just sort of demoing the song with just, I wanted to hear it with real drums, and so I threw up a couple of mics just to kind of get a feel for it, and it came out amazing. The drums that you hear on the record are actually just recorded with 3 microphones, one on the bass drum, one over the drum set, and one kind of capturing a room sound. And one of the other fun things that we got to do, kind of thanks to the help of recording technology, is we actually recorded Brian's bass parts just in his living room. We went over to his house one night and threw them down, and it was really nice to be able to just, right after he put his kids down to bed, to just be like, okay, let's go, let's do this. So. Believe it or not, I was mowing my lawn, and was just thinking about like love, like real, what I would consider like sort of transcendent love, that would go beyond what's reasonable or rational, and that kind of love that is like, you can rely on it like nothing else.
Just like really powerful imagery to me, just like really powerful imagery to me, just like connecting to the audience and being like, connecting to the audience and being like, like this imagery of like leaving the light on for someone, like you're waiting for them to come home at night.
It's a song that I've seen people respond to pretty openly at our concerts, and that's a good feeling. So,
like, I'm excited for people to hear what we're doing and have like this captured moment. Hopefully, like that's can be really powerful.
I'll leave the light on. I'll leave the light on.
I'll leave the light on. I'll leave the light on.
And that's a wrap
A rap?
for this one. Yeah,
You don't want me to do the other part again?
we got it.
Oh. Oh yeah, 'cause we got.
Speedy Gonzalez.
Cool.
No, wait, you're Speedy.
Cool. So, I'll close that in a second. So, any thoughts or questions? There's things I left out of that video, but I'll launch off with one funny thing. Obviously, you guys all heard the motorcycle in the background. One of the other really funny things that happened that day is right behind there in the alley is the police station. Apparently, they target practice in the parking lot on Saturdays. So we're in the middle of it, and all of a sudden, boom, 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 and we're like, what is going on? It sounds like gunshots. It was, and so, yeah, I pretended to die, which I found out that little kids know what that means. And I terrified my daughter by accident one day by playing that on the video on my phone, and she was like, "Ah, Dad, no, Dad!" Like so, they get it. So, yeah, I had no idea. I don't never seen anything like that before. So, yeah. Anyway, so we had to edit out. We had to retake a bunch of stuff because there kept being gunshots in the middle of it, and we couldn't really pay attention. So, one of the things that Anna touched on that I think it appeared in one of our other videos is obviously woven into this song is kind of like a little bit of like the prodigal son story, about like, basically being welcomed back. So I mean that's definitely at the core of the song. It's a pretty big deal to me. So I think we'll go ahead and play them. Oh. Okay. Thanks, producer. Yeah. Do you guys have any thoughts you want to share at this point, or?
I think Anna does.
Brian didn't even say anything on that
He's
video.
leaping at the chance, clearly.
They can't hear you online. 'Cause
Perfect.
Right.
they don't want to be heard.
They don't want to be heard, right? So,
Yeah, I wasn't in that video. So
right. Kind of accidentally, but it happened. It happened that way. Well, let's go ahead and show the music video, and then we can dive into whatever other.
Brian answered text.
Yes, we'll make Brian answer technical questions and all that good stuff. So, it's easy. Is that what you said? Yeah. So. All right. And that was a little loud, everybody, right? All right. All right. So, without further ado, here's the music video.
Is it gonna play?
If on the journey home you find yourself alone with nothing but stones to throw, swallow the lump in your throat. If the bow should break more than your heart can take, the path that you are on is covered up with thorns. Fill your heart with hope. I'll lead
Thank you, guys. Wow. So that's been actually. When did we film that? Do you remember? Was it November?
I think it was September.
September. So it's been almost exactly
October. Maybe it was October.
almost a year since we actually filmed it. And I was laughing as I was watching the final versions of it because Anna doesn't play the same guitar amp anymore, and mine looks different, and I have a different pickup in my guitar, and we don't have that floor tom anymore. So there's a lot of funny things that are sort of like, wow, that's not really where we're at anymore, in a good way. Anyways, I guess I'd love to hear your thoughts and questions. We had some great ones from Harv earlier about whether or not people think about how long songs are and all that kind of stuff. So, and thank you all very much for being here. I'm honored. So.
Honored to be invited.
Oh, thank you. Oh yeah, I forgot to also mention that the guy who edited the video was going to be here tonight, but he got engaged on Saturday, so I think he's probably got other things to worry about now. So, a guy named Ryan Blasky, Blasky Productions on the web.
But Brian shot all of it.
Yeah, Brian filmed it with his awesome cameras and lights and made it look really good. And then he got super busy, and so I asked Ryan, who had edited a video for Frequency Theater, to do it again. And he was very willing, which was nice. I was relieved that he was good for it. And although Brian was commenting that we kind of had intended the video to be in black and white, which I had forgotten about until he mentioned it, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's what happens when you start filming a year ago. so things got lost in translation.
I had forgotten about it too.
Oh.
Just then when I...
Brian had forgotten about it as well. So,
All of it, including the bridge with the white background.
yeah, we were gonna do just a black and white. Obviously, that would make it really contrasty when the bridge section hit, but yeah, it still works pretty well. It pulls off the thing we were trying to achieve. So.
To keep the guitar blues at
Oh, so keeping the guitar blue is important. All right, it's good to know. A lot of people like that guitar. It's really cool.
So Nate, is this being played on the radio anywhere?
The question is this being played on the radio? Not yet. The Globe 91.1 is our local station here in Goshen. Pretty highly rated Americana station. I think our music would fit pretty well on it. Yeah, if you feel so inclined, you could look them up, 91.1 The Globe, on the interweb, and maybe put a request in and encourage them to add it to their rotation. That would be great. So. Oh yeah, this is gonna be live on YouTube tonight. Like after the party, we're gonna turn the link on. So please share away and see if we can get a bunch of views on this thing. So I haven't put advertising on it yet. So.
Is this your first video online?
No. That's a good question though. We actually have a channel. We were doing vlogs for a while. That was a failed enterprise. But we've got a couple of other videos of like live songs and whatnot up on. We have a Shiny Shiny Black Band YouTube channel and also a Ustream channel that has a lot of live footage of us from Amber's iPhone on there. So, yeah. So, but this is our first official, like, big, like, music video that we put a lot of energy into. So yeah. What are your thoughts, Brian? Now that you've seen it.
What are my thoughts?
Yeah. You wanna come over? Yeah. Yeah. What were you thinking?
What was I thinking? Well, when we talked about shooting the video originally, it seemed like kind of a gimme because the imagery, the visual imagery for the song, there's light, and then if there's light, then there's obviously not light, and so the idea of we'd both agreed right up front that we thought that it should be a performance-based video and not like a story-driven video, and so the combination of those two things, light and dark and performance-based, seemed like a pretty simple recipe for dramatic lighting. There's lots of shadow with little slices of light in it to kind of, I don't know, draw from, I think, the reality that we all run into, that the world is a fairly dark place, but it's not all dark, and thus the idea of the whole song, that the song wouldn't make sense to anybody if they didn't know the darkness. Right. The idea that leaving a light on would be a good thing. Nobody would know. Nobody would get it if they didn't experience that. So dramatic lighting seemed like the way to go, and so that's what we did.
You were going to edit this originally as well.
Yes.
What happened?
What happened? Business happened, and so it sat on my hard drive for, I don't know, 3 or 4 months. On my to-do list, start shooting the video. It was always at the bottom of the to-do list, and then the to-do list changed to get all of this footage to Nate so somebody else can edit it. Because it seemed awful to just leave it sitting there and not doing anything.
Yeah.
So. Mm-hmm. Any other good questions for me, since I wasn't in the making of video with motorcycles and gunshots?
Yeah. Obviously. Oh, go ahead.
The first part was in the theater.
No. No.
Is that were they both in your studio?
It was all shot in my studio.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Just the lights changed. That was it.
Yeah, just the lights changed. Just moved some stuff. It didn't take real long to shoot.
No.
Maybe we were there for, I don't know, we probably... It was in an evening. I think that altogether... I think that by the time we were all done, we probably had about 6 hours of shooting in it.
Yeah.
Which isn't...
Like 3.5 minutes.
Which isn't bad.
No, it's not bad at all, actually.
Yeah, not bad at all. Like I said, it's such a simple... I mean, really, it's such a simple video. I mean, we've got a wide variety of shots, but because they were all basically back background type shots, with it, that makes things a lot simpler to produce than having to have just the right location and just the right time of day and just all those things. Right. Well, you got to have the right angle,
Right.
always.
Of course.
Anyway.
So, yeah. There was no, hey, Batman, people in the background, you know. Sorry.
I-
Remember that?
Lost on me.
Batman, the old Batman, where they'd be trying to film old Batman episodes back in the day, and you can see them. You can still go look, and there's like people on the bridge in the background with banners, you know, like, hey, Batman, you know, and all this stuff. Well, they're like trying to sort of actually professionally film something, and all this stuff would get into it. It was really funny. So we didn't have any of those. That's all I was saying. So another random reference by Nate. So I'm professional at those. Well, any other thoughts, questions?
Did you purposely wait a year?
Yes.
Repeat the question. I mean, was it
Oh.
like a timed, you wanted to release it at a
Did we intentionally wait exactly a year from when? No, it just sort of worked out that way. We wanted the time after it was done. We wanted the time to like plan this, getting everybody together and making it as big of a deal as possible. And that took a little bit of time to plan it and put it all together. So
It does work out nicely, though. It does work out nicely, though, that the album is coming out in the not too distant future. So it's kind of a building towards the kind of the pre-release of the single before the album hits.
Right. Thank you for mentioning that, Brian.
Emotional detail.
Yeah, no, we've got we're actually like 90% of the way done recording a full-length record right now. So that probably is going to come out sometime this fall. We haven't officially decided on a release date, partly because we want to make sure that we've got all of our ducks in a row before, and actually have it in hand before we like announce we're going to do it and then can't because, things happen sometimes. So, but yeah, that's going to be forthcoming. So keep your eyes peeled. Pretty excited about all that. So, all right. Well, with that, we'll let the web people go, and keep your eyes out. Tomorrow definitely we'll have the YouTube link posted on our Facebook page and all that. So please watch away and share and send me your questions that you didn't think of tonight, or don't. Either way is fine, but we really appreciate it.